When it comes to tactical military gear, every piece matters because the wrong choice can slow you down when it counts. To us, the best setups aren't just about looking rugged. They're about gear that works under pressure, holds up in the elements, and keeps you ready for anything. So today, we'll show you 30 incredible tactical military gear and gadgets you can consider. Subscribe if you haven't already. Let's begin. In terms of a solid body armor, most people run into the same trade-off. Either you get solid protection but end up lugging around heavy plates, or you go light and compromise on safety. The premier body armor Fotis 4RF3 tries to settle that fight in the middle. It can handle nasty rounds like M2 armor piercing or even M85-5 while still keeping the weight at a manageable under 7 pounds. That's lighter than many competitors in this protection class. The build is a single curve plate made with UHW MPE, and it's got an aluminum oxide strike face that's inset about ½ an inch. That little design choice matters because it helps absorb drops and bangs that would normally chip the edges. Another thing people really appreciate is the trauma mitigation. It spreads out the force of impacts and cuts down on backface deformation, something cheaper plates often ignore. Of course, it's not featherweight, so if you're used to super light setups, you'll definitely feel it after long hours. But compared to ceramic plates that can spider crack after a hit, the Fotis holds its structure across multiple strikes. Normally, running a rifle optic means you're still stuck doing a bit of math in your head. Estimating range, holding over, hoping your guesswork lines up with reality. Here, the X4 system by the collaboration of Magpul and MAZTECH basically removes that guesswork and turns your standard LPVO into something a lot smarter. Instead of buying a whole new optic, this setup lets you drop their fire control mount under your scope and pair it with the X4 LRF rangefinder. The two work together to instantly measure distance, then feed real-time ballistic corrections straight into your view. It pulls in environmental factors too, things like temperature, air pressure, and humidity, so you're not just getting a basic range reading, you're getting a firing solution built for the conditions you're in. Shooters say it's surprisingly intuitive. The ballistic data shows up clean without cluttering your glass, and you can control it all with a simple 3-button remote without ever breaking position. Now, it does add a layer of tech that some people might feel is overkill for casual range days. But for anyone competing, training, or running tactical setups, the payoff is first-shot accuracy at extended ranges. If you've worn enough tactical pants, you already know the usual story. They're tough, but they feel like you're walking around in cardboard. The UF Pro P40 All-Terrain Generation 3 tries to fix that by combining durability with actual mobility. Instead of sticking to one stiff fabric, these pants use a 3-material design. A Polyco ripstop base that breathes and dries fast, plus stretch panels placed where you need movement most. Comfort shows up in other areas too. The waist or flex system adapts to your body instead of cutting in, which makes a difference on long missions or hikes. Knee protection is also customizable. You can slide in light cushioning or go heavier with penetration-resistant pads if the situation calls for it. Now, if you're often kneeling in places where sharp objects might be lying around, like screws, nails, or bits of glass, you can upgrade your 3D knee pads with UF Pro solid pads. The 3D version gives you cushioning and comfort, but the solid pads add a tougher layer that stops sharp edges from poking through. Overall, the P40 Gen 3 gives you gear-ready toughness without killing your mobility, which is exactly what most pants fail to do. Most shooting gloves don't really last. A couple of training days in, and you'll see seams ripping, palms tearing, or fingers blowing out. That's why Viktos came up with the Wartorn gloves. They're built to hold up where most others fail. For example, the thumb area is usually the first to wear down, especially against the rough checkering on pistol grips. Here, they reinforced it with their combative leather, so it actually holds up. The trigger and middle fingers have extra stitching too, so the seams don't pop early. Even the grip is thought out. There's silicone on every finger, which helps when you're racking a slide in the rain or with sweaty hands. And yeah, you can still use your phone or Optic screen since the trigger finger and thumb are touchscreen friendly. Comfort's solid too. You get a padded mesh chassis, a synthetic suede palm for good feedback, and a polymer knuckle protector for when things get rough. Nothing fancy, just a basic glove designed by a US veteran to actually survive range days and real use without falling apart on you. Inside the waistband holsters usually come with the same headache. You either get good concealment and suffer on comfort, or you get something comfy that prints like crazy. The Blackhawk Stache tries to solve that by leaning into a more modular design and tougher build. Instead of kydex that can crack if stressed, this one's made from impact-reinforced polymer, so it holds up while giving you more adjustment options. You can swap things around, ride height, cant, and even add accessories like claws or mag carriers without buying a whole new holster. Retention's handled by a friction-adjustable system, so you can dial in the draw tension without fussing with springs or complicated mechanisms. A small but nice touch is the low-profile shirt guard. It avoids digging into you but doesn't get in the way of drawing. It's also optics ready, so if you've moved to a red dot, you're covered. Now, it's still bulkier than bare-bones holsters, so if you're laser-focused on deep concealment, it may feel like extra gear. But for most people, the balance between concealment, comfort, and durability makes it solid for daily carry. Weapon lights usually make you choose: do you want something tiny that barely shines, or a powerhouse that turns your pistol into a brick? The Nitecore NPL25 GL manages to squeeze both light and laser into a really compact setup. You're looking at 900 lumens out the front, with enough throw to light up targets past 200 meters, plus a bright green laser that actually stays visible even in daytime. The whole unit weighs just 74 grams, so it doesn't feel like you've hung a flashlight on your pistol. And unlike red lasers that wash out in sunlight, the 520 nanometer green beam holds its own. Operation is simple too. The ambidextrous switch layout means you don't need to relearn grip just to run it. And there are 2 brightness levels, so you're not stuck blinding yourself in close quarters. Battery life is handled by a 500 mAh cell, which you can charge magnetically, and swapping it out is quick when you need to. Some shooters might not need both laser and light. It's extra complexity for casual carry. But for tactical work, training, or home defense, the combo makes sense. Plus, it's low profile enough that it usually still fits in holsters. Appendix carry is already tricky, and once you add a weapon light, most holsters just get bulky or downright uncomfortable. The Tenicor Velo Lux tackles that by shaping itself around your body instead of just slapping plastic on a gun. The angles and curves fill those little gaps between your frame and the pistol, so you don't get hot spots digging into your waist all day. Concealment's another strong point. It uses a camming bar system with 3 height options, basically rotating the grip into your body to cut down on printing. That means even full-size pistols with lights can ride close without advertising themselves. Build quality is also up there. 0.093-inch thermoplastic keeps it tough, while still giving you that smooth draw Tenicor's known for. You get plenty of adjustment too, over an inch of ride height, generous cant range, and 3 clip positions. It's also red dot compatible and shaped, so you can get a full grip every time without obstruction. Downsides? Well, it's not the cheapest option, and setup can take some tweaking until it feels just right. But once it's dialed in, even smaller-bodied users report they're comfortably carrying pistols they thought were too big for the appendix. A holster designed for real-world carry, not just theory. A lot of fixed blades look mean, but fold under real pressure. The Blackcountry Backout V2 doesn't bother with flashy looks. It's built to actually work hard. The blade is cryo-treated D2 steel, which holds an edge really well, and the titanium nitride coating cuts down on rust and maintenance. So whether it's camping, hunting, or tactical use, you're not babying it. The handle's G10 with smart shaping and jimping, so it locks in whether you've got gloves on or not. Earlier versions had hot spots, but this one smooths that out so it stays comfortable over long use. The sheath deserves mention too. Kydex with a thumb push release. It gives you quick, one-handed deployment while keeping the knife secure when you're moving. You can mount it low-ride on a belt for easy access, or switch to scout carry with tech lock if that's your style. Full tang construction means the strength is there, and the grip shape works in both standard and reverse holds. Now, it's still a decent-sized fixed blade, so if you're after ultralight minimalism, it might feel like more knife than you need. But for anyone who wants a dependable utility and defensive blade in one, the Backout V2 nails the balance. So the deal with most red dots, you either get a nice big window to see through, but then the thing ends up fragile. The Vortex Defender XL tries to give you both. It's built with competition shooters in mind, and the first thing you'll notice is that giant window. Now, big windows usually mean more distortion, but here you're looking through a hard-coated spherical lens that keeps the view natural. You also get the choice of a 5 or 8 MOA dot, depending on what works better for you. The housing isn't just for show either. Vortex added their shock shield system, which is basically a built-in bumper to handle everyday knocks. The front is textured with what they call fast rack, which lets you rack your slide off just about anything if you need to. Battery swaps are simple with the top-load design, and runtime is solid, about 25,000 hours at a medium setting. Plus, it shuts off automatically if you leave it sitting, then wakes up the second you move it. So, overall, it's tough, clear, and easy to use. Now, if you're looking for a knife that actually does what it's supposed to, the Nedfoss Wolf is worth checking out. The blade is 4 inches of really sharp 7CR 4 MOV stainless steel, tough enough to handle heavy use but still keeps an edge. They even added notches and saw teeth on the spine, so you can use it for cutting, sawing, or just about any little task in the wild. It's a full tang design, which means the steel goes all the way through the handle, making it feel solid and unshakable in your hand. The whole knife is about 9.5 inches long and thick enough to take a beating without bending or snapping. The handle is made from G10, which grips well even when wet, and the finger grooves help you hold it comfortably and control it better. The sheath is heavy-duty nylon and MOLLE compatible, and you can wear it vertically or horizontally, or even tie it down to a pack or leg if you want. Well, it's not the lightest knife you'll ever carry, but it's one of those tools you can trust to get the job done. So, if you need a tactical knife for emergencies, the Wolf is solid and dependable. Finding a solid holster that actually locks in place without being picky about gun models isn't always easy. That's where the Tulster Arc stands out. Instead of the usual setup where a holster clamps around the frame or slide, this one's built with a patent-pending light retention device, or LRD. The clever bit? It latches onto your weapon light instead. That gives you that satisfying click lockup, while letting the same holster fit multiple guns, whether you're running a Glock 17, a Glock 19, or even Shadow Systems pistols, as long as they've got the light attached. The Arc is built from 0.093-inch Kydex, the thickest material Tulster has used to date. The edges are carefully buffed by hand for comfort, and the cutaway design means you can actually hit the mag release while it's still holstered. Plus, it works with inside-the-waistband carry, which adds some versatility. Now, here's the catch. It's thicker than average. Plenty of users say they had to bump up a pant size to carry it comfortably, especially if they're smaller or want really deep concealment. Even so, the multi-platform compatibility and unique retention system make it a strong option for anyone who uses a weapon light and doesn't want a separate holster for every gun. If your priority is a holster that holds tight, feels secure, and works across multiple firearms, the Arc checks the boxes. Out in the field, a normal phone case isn't going to cut it. Dust, rain, and rough handling will take their toll. That's why Thyrm built the DarkVault 2, not a slip-in-your-pocket case, but a rugged enclosure designed to keep your phone operational in harsh conditions without needing to pull it out for use. The DarkVault 2 is sealed with a waterproof and dust-proof gasket, locked by a spring-loaded clamp that holds your phone firmly in place. On the back, full MOLLE and PALS compatibility means you can attach it directly to a chest rig, plate carrier, or pack. It comes in two sizes, one for standard 6.1-inch phones and one for larger 6.7-inch models. The whole point is that you can still run nav apps, ballistics calculators, or mesh comms without ever exposing the device. A couple of thoughtful details stand out. You don't have to ditch your everyday phone case, and the Quick Dock feature makes access simple. There's also a variant with electromagnetic signal blocking, ideal if operational security is part of the job. That said, the DarkVault doesn't come cheap. It's not really designed for casual users. But if your work or lifestyle involves environments where gear needs to survive serious abuse, this case delivers reliable, field-worthy protection. Sometimes compact gear solves a problem you didn't even realize you had. That's the idea behind the CRKT Provoke X, an axe that takes the morphing tech of CRKT's viral Provoke Karambit and scales it up into a deployable hatchet. Visually, it's impressive, sleek, mechanical, and unlike anything else. Practicality, though, is more situational. It's not an everyday carry replacement for a pocket knife. Instead, it's for those moments where you need a tool with extra punch, but still want something compact. The Provoke X combines an axe blade for heavy strikes with a spike designed for piercing, all packed into a size that slips into your kit far easier than a full hatchet. Weighing in at about 13 ounces, it's got heft without being cumbersome. Folded, it's roughly the size of a flashlight. Deploying it is smooth thanks to the kinematic mechanism, while a deadbolt lock secures the blade in use. Made with titanium nitride-coated D2 steel, the blade resists wear and corrosion. The spike folds cleanly into the handle when not in use, and the stainless steel handle with reinforced overlays gives you a confident grip. Safety is automatic when closing, keeping the design secure and controlled. If you're into forward-thinking gear design and want an axe that's both portable and fast to deploy, the Provoke X is one of those rare tools that breaks categories. Big ballistic shields offer heavy protection, but they're not exactly practical for tight spaces. That's the problem the RTS Rapid Deploy Mini Shield is built to solve. It gives rifle-rated defense in a format you can actually move with. Rated at level 3+, The shield can stop rounds like 5.5 green tip and even 7.62 NATO. It's available in 3 weights and sizes: small at 11 pounds, medium just under 17, and large at 23.3. That lets you choose how much coverage you want without being locked into a massive door-sized shield. Deployment is quick, and the handle plus strap system means you can hold and maneuver it in multiple ways. RTS even backs it up with free replacement if the shield ever takes a round in service. On the downside, cost is high, and for most people outside law enforcement or private security, it's far more protection than they'll ever realistically need. Even at the lightest size, carrying it for extended periods can wear you down. But for those who need portable, rifle-rated coverage in environments where agility matters, this shield fills a very specific role, and does it well. Long-range shooters know how much math and guesswork usually go into making accurate shots. The Vortex Impact 4000 aims to cut through that by combining a rangefinder with a full-on ballistic computer, mounted right to your rifle. The unit ranges up to 4,000 yards on reflective targets and about 1,500 yards on deer-sized ones, with accuracy within half a yard at 100 yards. It's packed with sensors, measuring incline, compass direction, and weather data, and feeds it all into ballistic calculations. It syncs directly with the GeoBallistics app, but it also works independently in areas where your phone can't. Bluetooth remote operation adds flexibility, letting you use it without shifting position, and compared to military-grade systems, it's relatively accessible in price, opening advanced tech to more shooters. But at about £1, it shifts your rifle's balance, and the menu system can take some practice to navigate. Still, for anyone into precision shooting, the Impact 4000 functions like having a dedicated spotter built into your setup. Helmet setups get messy fast. Separate batteries, tangled wires, and gear strapped on every angle. The OPS Core RAILINK is designed to fix that problem, acting like a central hub that powers and connects all your helmet-mounted equipment. Built specifically for OPS Core FAST helmets, the system eliminates excess battery packs by running everything, night vision, comms, lights, off one central source. The result is a much cleaner, more manageable setup. The bigger picture here is modularity, with OPS Core building an expanding ecosystem of add-ons designed to integrate seamlessly. Of course, the cost is steep, starting around $2,500, and installation isn't something most users will want to tackle themselves. Since the ecosystem is still developing, not every accessory you might want is available just yet. But for professionals who spend long hours in fully kitted helmets, RAILINK changes how gear is managed. Streamlined, powered, and future-ready. When it comes to everyday backpacks, balancing capacity, comfort, and modularity can be tricky. The 5.11 AMP12 hits a sweet spot, designed as a compact 25-liter pack that still manages to offer customization and durability. Its standout feature is the Hex Grid system, which expands on MOLLE-style attachment by giving you more angles and patterns to mount gear. That means more flexibility for different setups. Comfort is also a focus, with a thermoformed back panel that contours to your body. The clamshell-style main compartments make organization straightforward, while a concealed carry pocket is tucked in, if that's something you need. Built from a mix of 500D and 1050D nylon, it's rugged without being excessively heavy. A removable hex grid panel on the exterior makes swapping loadouts simple, so the pack adapts to different situations without forcing you to change bags. At 25 liters, it's perfect for daily use or short trips, though it can feel undersized for multi-day excursions. Like most 5.11 gear, price runs higher than average. But if you want a backpack that's versatile, durable, and modular, the AMP-12 is well designed for that role. Knives with military design input often feel overbuilt, but the Extrema Ratio MH Stealth finds a middle ground. Developed with input from Germany's KSK Special Forces, this Italian-made folder combines tactical pedigree with practical rescue features. The blade is Bowler N690 steel with a smooth burnished finish, etched with the KSK insignia. At 86 mm, it's compact but functional, with serrations near the base for cutting rope or webbing. The knife weighs just 106 grams, keeping it light for carry. The handle integrates a belt cutter and ends in a ring that doubles as a glass breaker. One clever feature is its carry versatility. It can be deployed in a fixed blade configuration for quick readiness or folded like a conventional pocket knife. Limitations? The smaller size can feel cramped for large hands, and the premium price tag reflects its specialized background. But if you're looking for a folding knife with genuine military input and built-in rescue functions, the MH Stealth is a serious contender. Compact lights often force you to trade brightness for portability, but the Fenix TK16 V2.0 manages to push both. An upgrade of the original, this model packs a luminous SST70 LED that throws out up to 3,100 lumens and reaches 380 meters. The body is aerospace-grade aluminum, built to withstand abuse. 2 rear switches control power and modes, with instant strobe available for emergencies. Up front, tungsten steel tips on the bezel double as glass breakers. The included 5,000 mAh rechargeable battery is robust, charges via USB-C, and keeps the light practical for extended use. It's also IP68 waterproof, meaning it'll survive heavy rain, drops in puddles, or even brief submersion. The main drawback is heat. On turbo mode, it runs hot enough that the light automatically steps down output to protect itself. Still, for those who need a compact, powerful, and fast-operating light, the TK16 V2.0 delivers impressive performance. Most multi-tools aim for general versatility, but the Nextorch Pioneer MT20 is clearly built with first responders in mind. Its 14-tool loadout leans heavily toward rescue and emergency work. The centerpiece is a set of full-size, spring-loaded rescue shears, big enough for demanding cuts. Alongside that are replaceable wire cutters, a plastic handcuff cutter, an oxygen cylinder wrench, and a strap cutter. It still covers the basics like pliers and blades, but the focus is specialized. Made from 20 CR13 and 30 CR13 steel with a stone-washed finish, it's tough and comfortable to grip thanks to rounded edges. The shears are strong without causing hand fatigue, and the replaceable components mean you won't have to discard the whole tool when one part wears out. Well, it's bulkier than a typical multi-tool with noticeable weight if carried in a pocket. But for rescue, law enforcement, or anyone who values emergency readiness over minimalism, the MT20 is a solid fit. Sometimes you need a knife that isn't about chopping wood or slicing up food at camp. It's built for something far more serious. That's exactly where the SOG Pentagon FX comes in. At first glance, it practically screams tactical. This isn't your all-around utility blade. It's a double-edged fixed blade designed for defensive and professional use. One of the clever touches here is in the handle. Instead of locking you into one permanent setup, the grip scales can be removed by loosening a single bolt. That means you can strip it down if you want a slimmer profile, or change them out if you're looking for a different feel. The sheath deserves attention, too. A lot of fixed blades ship with rigid plastic carriers that are only half functional. Not the case here. This one allows for multiple carry positions: horizontal on the belt, vertical like a standard knife, clipped to MOLLE webbing, or even tucked AIWB if you're going for a low-profile setup. The blade itself is crafted from CPMS 35VN steel, a premium material that's prized for edge retention and toughness. One thing to keep in mind: both sides are sharpened to a fine edge. That means extra cutting ability, but it also demands more caution when drawing or sheathing in a hurry. You don't get the same margin of safety as with a single-edge design. If what you need is a fast-access, purpose-built blade that offers flexibility in carry and uses top-tier steel, the Pentagon FX absolutely earns a spot in the conversation. Blades and lights are great, but if something goes wrong, the gear that might truly save your life isn't a weapon at all. It's a first aid kit. The North American Rescue Mini First Aid Kit proves that life-saving capability doesn't have to come in a bulky package. This kit is ultra-compact, small enough to fit in one hand. Yet inside, it's stacked with exactly what you'd want in a trauma situation: a tourniquet, gauze, vented chest seals, gloves, and other essentials. No filler, no gimmicks, just the core items designed to actually keep someone alive. The layout makes it stand out. Instead of a pouch you dig through blindly, the MFAK has a pull handle. Yank it, and the contents unfold in a logical sequence. That matters when adrenaline is spiking and every second counts. Gear placement can make or break your response time. Mounting options are flexible as well. It attaches to MOLLE or rides on a belt, and you can choose vertical or sideways orientation depending on your preference. Of course, there are limits. The compact design means you're not tossing in extras like trauma shears, flashlights, or a bunch of extra dressings. And the tourniquet is mounted on the outside, which is smart for accessibility but can snag when moving through brush or tight spaces. For anyone looking to maximize capability and minimum space, this mask is tough to beat. It's lean, efficient, and built for real emergencies. Most people don't think much about respiratory protection until they really need it. Smoke, gas, or airborne particles suddenly make breathing a problem. That's where the Mira Safety Tactical Air Purifying Respirator, TAPR, fits in. Unlike cheap disposable half masks, this one is professional grade. It seals around your nose and mouth but leaves your eyes exposed. At first, that might seem like a drawback, but the design is deliberate. Without a full-face mask, you avoid interference with helmets, goggles, or rifle optics. You can shoulder a weapon, wear eye pro, and still keep communication gear in place, without the mask fighting against everything. The compromise, of course, is that your eyes aren't protected. In a setting with heavy smoke or debris, you'll need to add goggles to make it a complete system. Another major plus is compatibility. The TAPR accepts standard 40mm NATO filters, which means you're not locked into buying brand-specific cartridges. You can source replacements from a wide range of suppliers, a big deal in any extended-use situation. It's also compact. Unlike a full gas mask, this half mask can fold down to fit in a cargo pocket or pouch. That means you can actually carry it as an everyday piece of kit, rather than leaving it at home because it's too bulky. The one trade-off is the voice clarity. Talking through it can sound a little muffled, so comms may not come through as clean as bare-faced speech. Still, for anyone who wants portable, reliable protection without the weight of a full mask, the Mira TAPR is a smart choice. Not every plate carrier needs to be top-tier military issue with a price tag to match. The Tacticon BattleVest V2 hits a more practical balance. It's built for everyday users who want reliable protection without overspending. It's designed around standard 10 by 12 plates, front and back, which covers the common sizing most people opt for. Nothing flashy, just functional. One of the better touches here is the cummerbund. Instead of solid panels that trap heat, it has cutouts that allow for airflow. If you've ever worn heavy armor in summer, you know how miserable that heat buildup can be. This helps a little without compromising structure. There's also a small bonus in the admin pouch, a hidden magazine slot. It won't replace a chest rig, but it gives you some added capacity without cluttering up the outside. The padded shoulder straps also deserve mention. They aren't luxury thick, but they're enough to keep the weight of plates from digging into your shoulders. The whole exterior is lined with moly webbing, which means you can tailor the vest with pouches and gear however you want. Though, it's heavier than higher-end carriers built with ultralight materials. And there's no quick release system. If you need to shed it quickly in an emergency, you'll be undoing straps instead of yanking a pull tab. If you're working with a budget and just need a dependable carrier that nails the basics, the BattleVest V2 delivers. When it comes to multi-tools, there are plenty of flashy new designs, but few have the proven track record of the Gerber MP600, a tool that's been standard issue in the military for years. The signature feature is the one-handed plier deployment. In theory, that's perfect. If one hand is occupied, you can still snap the pliers into action. In practice, it works pretty well, though sometimes the action isn't as smooth as you'd like. Inside the handles, you'll find 13 different tools: straight and serrated blades, screwdrivers, a file, a saw, can and bottle openers, and even small rulers. The wire cutters use carbide inserts that are rotatable and replaceable, which extends their lifespan considerably. Built in the USA, the MP600 is rugged enough to handle daily abuse. It even carries an official national stock number, meaning it's cataloged for military use and easy to reorder through government supply chains. It's not without shortcomings. There's no bit driver, which limits screwdriver versatility compared to modern competitors. And the handles intentionally have some play in them, a design choice that not everyone appreciates. Still, if you want a multi-tool that's field-proven, durable, and respected by people who use them professionally, the Gerber MP600 holds up strong. When it comes to weapon lights, reliability is everything. The Fenix GL 19RV 2.0 keeps that front and center, combining rugged build quality with serious brightness. This compact light delivers enough lumens to cut through darkness indoors or outdoors. Its beam stretches to around 420 meters, which is nearly a quarter mile. That means it's just as capable illuminating long approaches as it is lighting up a hallway. Mounting is simple and universal. It snaps directly onto a GLO-CK rail or a standard Picatinny rail, so you won't be struggling with compatibility. Battery life is what you'd expect for this level of output. At maximum brightness, you're looking at around 55 minutes before recharge. That's not unusually short. It's just the trade-off for the power it puts out. If your priority is a dependable, high-output light that mounts easily and runs on a trusted brand name, the GL19RV2 is a safe bet. Sometimes you don't need a massive rucksack. You just need a pack that's compact, efficient, and tough. The 5.11 Rush 12 2.0 fits that role perfectly. It's designed for carrying essentials only. The layout is sharp. Multiple quick-access compartments, a concealed carry pocket, and organized sections to keep gear easy to reach. Capacity is on the smaller side, but that's deliberate. It forces careful packing and keeps the bag nimble in tactical scenarios. Inside, you'll also find a padded lap and a hydration bladder compartment, so it doubles easily between daily carry and field use. The bag itself is made from abrasion-resistant fabric with beefy zippers that can handle abuse. The shoulder straps are shaped to distribute weight evenly, keeping things comfortable even when fully loaded. For anyone who values organization, durability, and compact form, the Rush 12-2 is an ideal fit. Your hands are your primary tools, and protecting them without losing dexterity is the challenge. The Magpul Patrol Glove 2 tackles this with a smart mix of durability and fine control. The main body is made from goatskin leather, giving it toughness without feeling bulky. The finger design and added gun gusset between thumb and trigger finger improve both grip and trigger manipulation. The back of the glove uses a flexible nylon material that keeps airflow moving, so your hands don't overheat. Plus, the thumbs are touchscreen compatible, meaning you can still work a phone or GPS without stripping the gloves off. Break-in time is quick, and there's enough padding over knuckles and fingers to protect against scrapes and slide bite. What they don't offer is insulation. These aren't cold weather gloves. For range days, field use, or tactical work where precision matters, the Patrol Glove 2 offers a reliable balance of comfort and protection. If raw power is what you're after in a handheld light, the Streamlight ProTac 2.0 HP delivers in spades. At 2000 lumens, this flashlight is bright enough to cover entire fields or reach out across large spaces. It charges through USB-C, keeping recharges simple, and the interface makes switching between high, low, and strobe straightforward. It's also built tough. Waterproofing and impact resistance ensure it won't quit after a drop or in bad weather. The main compromise is in its power supply. On max output, you'll get about 2.5 hours of runtime, which isn't bad. But the issue is the proprietary battery. You can't just swap in AAs or common rechargeables. If you're planning extended off-grid use, that limitation might be frustrating. Still, if your main need is serious illumination paired with durability, the ProTac 2.0 HP checks the boxes. Footwear might not grab headlines, but it makes or breaks your ability to stay mobile. The Rothco Forced Entry Boot aims to strike a balance between durability and comfort. Standing 8 inches tall, it's built from waterproof leather and nylon, keeping your feet dry even in poor weather. Inside, the moisture-wicking lining helps prevent soggy socks, while the traction-heavy soles provide grip on slick or uneven ground. The side zipper is a practical touch. It speeds up getting the boots on and off compared to full lacing. A padded collar cushions the ankles, reducing hot spots during longer wear. On the flip side, they're heavier than athletic shoes and take some time to break in. Durability is solid, though some buyers note they're manufactured overseas, which can matter depending on your priorities. For those who want waterproof, supportive boots without spending a fortune, the forced entry boot makes sense. That was our video on the 30 Doomsday survival gear and gadgets preppers should have. Let us know your favorite pick in the comments section, as we'd love to hear from you. And, as for everything else, don't forget to like, comment, and share. And hit the bell icon if you want more content like this on your feed.